The subject line should clearly communicate what the email is about. You need to try to keep it, all principles of business writing even apply to the subject, where you keep it specific, concise, and useful. In a way, use keywords that will help the recipient search and filter easily. So that's really helping them. And as far as possible, both in your subject line and in the rest of your email, try to avoid using caps lock, right? So in a way, a good way to put a subject is, how do I put a subject where I put that one line, or that it could be like broken up into different parts like the previous one was, but that subject itself should give you a total understanding of what the email is about, right? That's how you need to put a subject line. And here, when I'm teaching you about a lot of these things, I'm not talking about certain marketing emails that you may send, right? Or mass mailers that are often sent across to people, and the tactics and techniques that you may use in those marketing emails that are being sent could be very different. Here I'm talking about most of your business emails. That's what it needs to follow. The subject line needs to give you a full understanding of what that email is about, right? Arunima is on screen, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sure she has a question.
I actually have a point to add.
Yes.
Though you mentioned that we are not talking about marketing emails,
Yes.
it's important to know why the subject line matters, because usually when you're in an office environment, you tend to open all emails, no matter what the subject line is.
Correct.
So even if it's a poorly written subject line, I will open the email because I know it's work related.
Correct.
But if you're, let's say, an entrepreneur, or you're sending out emails to get someone's attention,
Correct.
there the person will determine whether they want to open your email or not, perhaps just by the subject line.
Absolutely.
It really matters in those situations as well.
I think you've made this point brilliantly, Arunima. And also, Arunima, truth be told, in situations like, I don't know how many emails you receive in a day, but a lot of people that I have trained in the past on this subject say that, I said 100, they say, listen, sometimes we get 300 emails a day, right? And that's just way too many emails to wade through. And if you want somebody's urgent attention, if you write the subject line properly, in those 100, sometimes 200, 300 emails that people get, your email will be read even then. But what you're saying is absolutely right. When you are emailing, especially even in as a salesperson in an organization, if you have to like reach out to somebody outside of your ecosystem, and of course the subject line will play a very important part, because they will kind of determine whether to open it or not based on that. Yeah.
Right. No, and you are correct, because even if you receive 100 emails, some of them would be FYI versus something that needs to be actioned. So again, if that's mentioned in the subject line, I know which one to open first to start actioning that one first. You make a very quick decision within milliseconds almost, just depending on the subject line. And that's the importance and the criticality of it.
Correct. Absolutely. So just one more kind of thing in the subject line is when Arunima, you can come back on screen, because it will be good to have a discussion with you on this. So when somebody emails me, I would often reply to that email. So the subject line would then reflect saying RE, right? Reply to it. And then very often you could be writing to that same person about a subject which is entirely different or is changed. During that time, although you may want the entire stream that is there earlier, right? The email exchanges that are there earlier, if the subject of your discussion with that person changes, as far as possible, try to change the subject line as well. So please don't keep doing reply to each other on a subject line that has now become irrelevant to you, okay? Because then again, searching that thing for you and the other person will become very, very difficult. So if the subject is the same, you all can keep just replying to each other with that same subject. But as soon as the subject changes, take the effort to actually go and change the subject, because that is something which is going to be important. And that's again a part of email etiquette when it comes to the subject, right? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Something I practice.
Yeah, great.